Python. That's why we also work with Excel.
Okay.
And that coincides with availability, of course. We also wanted to go for the software that people were already to some degree or to a high degree familiar with,
Yes.
like Microsoft Excel, and then do with it because it's very available. So I think those two go hand in hand.
Have you gone as far as Python, or are the broader language that you're using currently?
Yeah, but Python is also, we have thought about Python.
Yes.
Within the field, a lot of people are very enthusiastic about R.
Yes.
And we decided to go for R because the data analytics and data visualization capabilities, which are usually considered better than Python. Python is slightly more of a programming language, and R is, of course, more of an academically oriented language for doing research. So that's why we opted to go for R.
Okay.
If we go for Python, R and Python can basically do the same thing.
Overlap. Okay. And listen, can I ask you, based on your experience and your dealings with different stakeholders in the industry, do you think HR directors know what HR analytics is?
That's a good question. That was actually one of the reasons why we started with the blog.
Yes.
Basically, just to explain what HR analytics is, how companies can get started, what they can do with it, what the business impact / business case is, etc. There's still, I think a few years ago that was much more than now. Now it's much more common, like what is HR analytics, what can you do with it?
Yes.
But I still get approached almost weekly by companies saying, hey, can you do a talk and explain what it is, and just go over the basics. So there's still a lot of there's still a knowledge gap.
Yes.
On the other hand, if you look at the really large companies,
yes.
the global directors, they probably have a good sense of what's going on, and it's now seeping down towards the smaller companies, say a few thousand people, and they're now also jumping on the bandwagon. But there's absolutely still a knowledge gap.
Yes. And do you think they're aware of the skills needed to basically undertake this type of analytics?
That kind of depends how familiar they are with analytics.
Well,
what I am seeing is that a lot of organizations who are starting off with analytics
yes.
is that they're looking for people who have all the skills. They're looking for all the skills in one person.
Yes.
So data analytics, consulting the business, advising, stakeholder management, being able to program, etc. And
yes.
those are profiles that are, well, at least I see it in the Netherlands very often actually. Those are profiles that are impossible to fill, so you
yes.
won't find those people.
Yes.
They often have a sense of the skills that they need, but they think those skills are present in one person, and those are very, very rare individuals.
Yes. Which is what, anyway, I saw you wrote an article on the role of the HR analyst, which I actually found very interesting, because at the moment, based on the interviews I'm doing now, what I find is that you have maybe HR professionals upgrading with basic functionality like Tableau or Microsoft Power BI, or you have the complete opposite. You have the more computer scientist or computer engineer that moves into HR analytics but doesn't have the business acumen or the HR acumen either. So if you had to choose, who would you choose? Would you choose a HR professional with, upskilled, or would you prefer to have a more scientific, technical background with upgraded, with HR knowledge?
I'll go for the latter, because there are way more people in the former category.
Okay. Okay,
so the people with expertise are much rarer.
Okay. Yeah, you mean in the HR professional. Yeah. So, also, Eric, I have had companies telling me we're using analytics, but the way we're going is we're moving into having a business intelligence department, and HR would basically be supported by them, like having a data analytics, business analytics business partner. So apparently there are a few companies that are trying to follow that particular model, the data analyst business partner that serves either HR or finance or operations. Have you found this profile, or do you think is way ahead of our time?
It is. I haven't personally come across companies that are doing specifically what you're saying now.
Okay.
I do expect it to happen much more often in the near future, actually. Because the HR analytics and people analytics period, or I wouldn't call it maybe I can call it a hype.
Yes.
Or the enthusiasm around it.
Yes.
In the end, those departments will be absorbed, I think, in a company-wide business intelligence center of competence.
Okay.
Whatever it's called. It is just an analytics department, and then HR is just part of it.
Part of it.
But then on the other hand, a lot of the business intelligence departments, they're just doing the slice and dice reporting, the descriptive statistics on general data.
Yes.
And the question is that really analytics? I don't think it is analytics.
Okay.
And do they still have the capabilities to actually do analytics? And that's I think still a good question to ask.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's right. That's absolutely right. And can I ask you something? What is your opinion on the functionality of HR information systems like Workday or SuccessFactors? Because sometimes when you talk to them directly, they seem to think they're leading the industry of HR analytics because they're incorporating more and more, machine learning and different algorithms for the calculation of retention rates, related to different issues. However, when you talk to the HR managers, they seem to tell you, but they have a very limited functionality. So, how do you see them? Is it that is it suitable for certain companies? Is it that they're really limited, or where do you see them going in the next 5 years?
I think that there's two parts to your question. Where they're going within 5 years, that's hard to predict. As I'm not a specialist on the HRIS or the system itself.
Yes.
What I do see in a lot of systems is that they're designed as transactional systems. They keep track of employee records.
Yes.
And they usually do that very well. They have very limited capabilities on visualization and reporting.
Yes.
And a lot of those providers are now starting to add visualizations, visual reports, just the basic employee or the HR dashboards. And I think they're making good strides in that. That's still no analytics. They sell it as analytics, but it's no analytics because it's just basic reporting. It's descriptive analytics, if you even want to call it analytics.
Yes.
So the problem for adding things like machine learning, which are usually still just simple rule-based algorithms, the problem with integrating machine learning and those applications in those HRIS is that they usually don't have literally all the HR data.
Yes.
And in order to capitalize on all the data, or in order to analyze data, you need to have data aggregated.
Yes.
And those systems usually have a big part of the data, but there's usually a separate applicant tracking system. There's a separate payroll system, or the payroll system is in a financial system.
Yes.
There's a separate performance review system. So depending on the availability and the level of aggregation of data, that is going to be less or more successful. And I'm quite a strong believer that with the increase in new HR or digital HR applications,
yes,
is that you'll start working with a number of very specialized apps, but the data of those apps are in those apps themselves, and they need to go to a data warehouse functionality where you can, in the data warehouse, with an analytics department or team or whatever you want to call it, you can do the actual reporting and the actual analytics.
Yes.
So if you ask me about the future of analytics in HRIS, I think that kind of contradicts the trend that you just spoke about business intelligence and centers of competence that are doing analytics.
Yes.
So I don't know what the exact effect will be, but I see a problem there just on a strategic level.
Yes.
And that will probably be